Welcome to another appliance repair video with All Pro Appliance. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be working on a GE top load washer that's doing a lot of crazy stuff. It's not working. None of the buttons work whatsoever. I'll show you what it's doing. And we're going to be replacing the motor on this. You can see on the display it just keeps repeating LID and nothing works whatsoever. It's like the control board, it does beep, but it just, when you press the start button, nothing happens. No water, nothing, or no cycle. The display is working with the time, but you always get that LID light right there. So this is like saying something's wrong with the lid lock. Well, anyway, I'll show you how I troubleshoot this. I have a wiring diagram schematic, and what we're going to be doing is seeing it that if we have power and the lid lock is locking, well, we have neutral and L1 where it comes in right here, and then we got an RB, and that's a red wire with a black stripe, and then next to it will be the neutral. That'll be a white wire with a red stripe. Then it's going through the lid switch, so the lid is closed, and then we're going up to the motor. The motor has a control board on it called an inverter, and on that connection to wire 6, we want to see if we have voltage, because we should have voltage, because that's an L1. So how I have it, you could see this was the wire that we want to see if the lid switch is closed. So if we have 120 on this wire right here and hooked up to ground, and then we know that the inverter board is getting 120. It gets both voltages, by the way. And so I'm going to hook up a ground right there. And then I got my voltmeter, and I'm going to check voltage coming in. As you can see, we have 120 volts to the motor, so it's doing what it's supposed to do there. That's not a problem. And then it also has DC voltages on the other lines, which you could check. But also, this inverter motor has an LED light that blinks a certain amount of times to tell you that it can have issues, and that's all in the service manual. On this GE washer, you may find the service manual in the top control panel or taped to the inside of the cabinet. If not, you can search online to purchase one if needed. For appliance technicians, you could check out a link I have in my channel description to appliantology.org. They have a 1-year membership with service manual, courses, and an excellent, great help resource. We are working on the model number for this particular. It might be similar to the one that you're working on. It doesn't have to be the same model number, but it's Papa Tom Whiskey November 6250 Mike 0 Whiskey Tom. I'm gonna unplug it, and we're gonna replace the motor. Definitely unplug it so you won't get shot. And it's pretty easy to take off this motor. It's got 4 screws underneath. Mine are a 10 millimeter, and disconnect these connectors. 1, 2, and 3. This one's are you don't have to disconnect that, and just move it away. So I'm gonna remove the 4 screws on the motor and remove the motor. Here's a new motor that we're working on, that we're going to be replacing. I wanted to mention that we're gonna be taking off the belt in order to remove the motor, because it's hooked up to the pulley of the motor. And so it's easy to take off this belt, but harder to put on. But I'll show you how. So how we remove the belt is it's on a big pulley which is the pulley that turns the transmission. So you just drop it down. It's gonna come off pretty easy. You just keep spinning it and it'll come right off. Okay, so the belt is off. We can get that out the way so that we can remove the rest of the screws in the back. I got the two in the front off. We have it disconnected and it comes out on an angle up and out. I wanted to mention the back nuts have a built-on washer on it, and you have to loosen it and lift it up in order to get the nut off, because as you can see, the flywheel is in the way, and so you got to lift it up in order to get it off totally. Okay. Okay, here's the fun part. I got my 4 washer nuts fastened to the motor, so it's all tightened up. I got my connectors back on, and now we're going to put the belt on. With the belt, you can do it without this tool, but it's not going to be fun. So in order to get this tool, it's called a GE service kit belt tool, and the part number is WX-ray 05 X-ray 20641, and this is what it's composed of. It's just 2 parts, and the only purpose and reason for it is to put it on the motor pulley, is to keep the belt from slipping off as you're trying to get it on. It comes with another washer, and this comes in 2 parts. So I got the belt on. I'm using the tool kit, and how I did it is you put a tie strap. Doesn't matter. I would just do it the way I did it. Tie strap like right here, and then put the belt kit on beforehand, and then put the belt, make sure the belt is in there on the threads, and then wrap the belt to the back. Reach your arm back there and have it wrapped to the back. The belt is going to be hanging down over here, and then all you have to do is just make sure it's on like 180 degrees from the right side up to the back, and then it's going to be loose here, and then as you just turn it, it just goes right on, and you help it on over here where there's room to work on the left side. Okay, so I hope that helps you out. And don't forget to cut your tie strap that you tied on the right side. It's going to come around to the left. Don't forget to cut that. All right, so we got the washer plugged in again, and you don't see any LID lid switch. So we're gonna put it in diagnostic mode, but everything looks like it's gonna work. So how you put it in diagnostic mode, they recommend that you put it at 9 o'clock, and you're gonna take this and turn it 180 degrees to 3 o'clock while you're pressing the start button. See if I could show you that. And it's in 8/8, so you know it's in diagnostic mode. So the first step in diagnostic is all you gotta do is turn the dial. That should be the model code. And then the next one, it will tell you if you have any error codes. There's no error codes, and that would mean that the hot water is going to turn on. And the next one will say C. So that's the cold water turning on. and the AL would mean agitate. So you could hear the clutch kicking in, and motor's working. Water's coming in now. None of the loads worked whatsoever before. You may not be able to see it because I'm shining light so dark in here, but you could also read codes underneath that inverter board. There should be an LED light, and I can show it to you. I don't know if it's picking it up. Yeah, there it goes. You can see it under there blinking, little red light. It's showing that it's okay and it's working. So everything's working good now. And we're gonna put it on a spin cycle. That's a fast agitate. Next one is drain pump. Everything is working. You know the lid switch is working because the drum stopped moving when I opened it. And after the pump, you could put it in a spin cycle, watch it spin. You can see how much water is in the tub right here. If your machine is jumping around a lot, usually it's the dampers slash shocks. It's these pieces right here that need to be replaced. And now SPs for spin cycle. So you got to hear the clutch kick in. And it did already. And now it's going into a spin cycle. So just replacing the motor alone fixed it. The LID code across the display kept saying LID, LID. Nothing was wrong with the lid. Must have been some type of control board went to some type of safe lock mechanism, because none of the loads were working whatsoever. So we have a fix. So how you get it out of diagnostic mode is to hold the start button and turn the knob 180 degrees like you got into it. That didn't work for me, so you could just unplug it. So I'm putting back the front cover. You just put the bottom on first, on the tabs and the notch. Then you got some pins here, you got to make sure that's going over. Then pretty much you just hit it in. Is how you take it out, I didn't show you, is used with a putty knife works good. You just put it in there, you just press it, and it just comes right out. Another expert repair by All Pro Appliance. If this video has been a benefit to you, please hit the like button, thumbs up, and subscribe. I have a lot of content and videos coming out. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.